Do you see it?
How do I see it?
Huh? Okay. You go to
I'm on this
join.
page.
Okay. You have to subscribe.
I did.
Okay. And then you should be able to see. You can't see it? Jordan, say something. You lying.
54545454.
So you're live.
Oh, I'm live right now? Hold on, let me make sure. Do. Here we go.
Want to make sure that they can hear you.
All right. I think they can hear me.
Can you hear you? I feel like I can hear you.
Hello, hello.
Mic check.
And they get to
No feedback.
hello, hello. And they get to see the 1970s chair right here.
Absolutely.
And they get to see You gonna join us, Ty?
Yes.
Wait. How do I turn on the super chat? That's what I want to know. Because now we're monetized here. Pop out
Mic
chat
check, mic check.
participants. Damn. All right, we'll have to figure out. I'll have to figure that out later, folks. It's a pleasure to come to you live, 8 o'clock in the evening. Hold on. The 1970s. Oh, there we go. So,
Wait, what's that?
I just lost it. Hold on. Here we go.
There you go.
Oh, there we go. So, we're coming to you a little late. It was a bit of a busy day.
Mic check. Mic check.
You see, it's
Yeah,
a little. It's
I
not
know.
completely in the frame.
I got you.
Troubleshooting. So, we're coming to you. We're coming to you a little late.
It's funny because on the camera, it's all in frame though.
Okay.
That's weird.
Oh, I'm so upset because let me tell you something, folks. YouTube took forever to monetize our channel. Now we're monetized. The YouTube gods decided to stop suppressing us, and I wanted to do the super chat. Where you could have $5, $10, $20 at the top, and you fine folks could start rolling in the dough so Ty and I could start rolling out in the field to cover all the things the corporate media is not covering. However, unfortunately, it doesn't look like the super chat is on yet, so I'll have to figure out.
It's on, right?
No, it's not on my desktop at least. So if
Are you logged into like your?
Yeah, I'm logged in. But whatever, I don't want them to have to hear that. We'll figure it out. So,
Okay.
folks,
How would you click the super chat if it was there? She want to see if she can do it.
Oh no, I'm just saying it's on. I don't know if that's what y'all looking
no.
Oh, look.
Oh, is it on? Oh, it is on. Holy shit. Triana, be fine. Triana, be fine. I want to make an announcement.
Triana, be fine.
Was that you?
No.
So Triana, be fine. I want to make an announcement.
Is
Put
she
this
fine?
in the record books.
Yeah, this is
Triana,
the
be
first one.
fine is the first person
super chat.
that has left any money
Any
in
money.
our super chat. You are going to start the revolution. Because let me tell you something. I just brought Ty on board.
Yes.
We actually just bought you a pretty nice computer today, so you could do some editing, do some work.
Mm-hmm.
And we are already making plans to hit the road again, probably in about a
Yes.
week and a half. Ooh, somebody just left $7. Gen A, I don't know who that is.
That's not $7. Oh, I thought that said $1.99. What's that?
7.00, maybe that's European. I don't know what that is.
Ah.
Anyway, the point is, as always, you could do patreon.com/Jordan Charitable Reports.
It's still up.
We really prefer monthly subscriptions. However, we'll take them where we can get them. So $5, $10, $15 right here. But let's get to the business, and I'll promote the super chat as we go. Thank you so much for you guys contributing. Let's get to the business of the Democratic establishment burning down to the ground starting last night. So let me tell you what happened last night. Ty and I, we went to PS 105, and that was a school where they had a polling place for the primary between Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Joe Crowley. Not a lot of action was going on at the polling place, and just as Ty and I a volunteer for Ocasio comes by, we're going to interview the volunteer, all of a sudden, my phone just goes to hell in a handbasket. It's freezing when we try to go live on YouTube. I literally turn my phone on and off, about, I'd say, 3 or 4 times. We can't get the phone to work. Then some other things happened, and we didn't make it to the watch party. But let me tell you something. I interviewed Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez at Netroots Nation. I was still at the Young Turks. Ty was my cameraman at that point. That was a year ago, because that was August, so almost a year ago. From less than a year ago, when she was literally serving food at a restaurant, I think in the Bronx, also bartending, to taking down the number 4 Democrat in the United States of America. She was outspent by some estimates, not 10 to 1, 15 to 1. She literally was not on anybody's radar. No media's radar, no nobody's radar, pretty much until I'd say the last month.
Yeah, because even after when we interviewed her, I didn't know who she was. You didn't know who she was, and
Then absolutely
no
not.
one did.
No,
you know
no,
what I mean?
no. But I'm saying even up until like a month ago, like the Intercept started doing the Intercept started doing like I think Jeremy Scahill did a podcast with her, Glenn Greenwald did a video with her. Then all of a sudden you start, I think the Huffington Post did something.
Yeah.
Then like the week before the primary, you start seeing like profiles of her in Vogue. You start seeing the Wall Street Journal. And do you want to know why? In my opinion, why she won?
Tell us why, Jordan.
Number one, she had an amazing campaign. Like,
Yeah.
just seeing the amount of coordination on social media and the volunteer networking and the getting grassroots organizing. But number two, I think, I love Bernie Sanders, but I tweeted this out last night and I'm going to say it again right now. I believe that the only way you're going to take down a real Democratic Party monster,
Is to
which
attack 'em.
Joe Crowley is you got to roll up your sleeves.
Yeah, you gotta roll up
You
your
can't
sleeves.
say, "Oh, I'm here with my friend Hillary at the debate, and
And I
we're going to
think-
have a pleasant discussion." She was super aggressive against him in the debate,
Yeah.
particularly the debate I believe was last week.
Yeah.
She did not mince words. She called him out for his lobbyist connection. She called him out for being in bed with real estate developers
Yeah.
and selling out the constituents of the Bronx and Queens. She did not mince words. She also, I think, a little more than Bernie, pushed some positions that even Bernie's not pushing. Abolishing ICE, which is very popular in her district because it's mostly people of color, immigrants. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And she pointed out a fact also today when I was looking at the news that a lot of those policies like ICE was put in place in like 2004, 2000, like right when we did all the other bullshit with Bush that's going now that was put in place. You have to understand like why
Patriot
that's
Act.
it. Yeah.
Patriot
Act. Yeah, the spying act and all those things. So, excuse me, my bad. And I think something else to point out is that I don't think the incumbent understood the changing of the demographics, and actually he didn't understand the temperature of the nation right now. I think that's probably what he didn't really get, that if people knew who to vote for, they would get out and vote, and she made them aware of who to vote for. Oh, this person looks like me. This person is asking me questions about what I want. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, a lot of times politics are local.
Yep.
You know what I mean? All Democrats. I think it was she made the great statement in her promotional video, her campaign video, where she says, "All Democrats aren't the same."
And I think also because that is definitely, that district looks a lot more like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez does than Joe Crowley.
Yeah.
But there's also a matter, and I've said this for a long time, midterm elections, generally speaking, young people do not come out. They just don't. Older people are the most most reliable voters in midterm elections.
And I think that's why he took it for granted, took her for granted.
But the difference
Didn't
is,
even want to have
if you actually have a young, progressive, because this narrative has been going on, and I'm going to get to MSNBC as CNN, which, by the way, he loves both of them. I'm going to get to these rags who just said, oh, she won because she ran a positive campaign. Not because she ran a progressive campaign. She won because she ran a positive campaign with a positive message. Oh, we're going to get to Ben Jealous,
But, you know, I think you were like coming and going, dog, because it was times, not to defend them, but it was times where they were like, no, because she pointed out what was going on. Like, a lot of people brought that up.
No, but what I'm saying is, what I watched in corporate media today, they were really focusing more on that she had a positive message rather than going against Trump. Why I think that's part of it. Why I think she won is not because she had a positive message versus going after Trump. It's because she had a progressive message. So she pushed Medicare for all.
I think
she pushed free public college.
Yeah.
She pushed ending private prisons, which is big in that community.
Yeah.
She pushed abolishing ICE.
No, I think you're absolutely right. I guess what I'm saying, which doesn't really matter. I don't know why I'm trying to argue a point
Because
about
you love Joe
the
Scarborough and
media.
Mika Scabreski.
But
Mika Brzezinski.
well, you give credit what credit's due. What they were saying is that she didn't bring up Trump, but she was bringing up the issues of her community.
Yes.
I don't think that they were saying that she was. Well, I guess at one point they did say, there was no one really rolled up the gloves. It was like kind of a. But
I think it was a mixed bag of, number one, you cannot win just making Trump the boogeyman.
You can't.
You just can't.
You can't.
But number two, you have to not only have your own message, but it's not just knowing your district, it's knowing the time. Because she ran not only not speaking about Trump, but speaking about progressive issues like Medicare for all, ending private prisons, abolishing ICE, raising taxes on the wealthy, free public college, all these things. And she did not get into the niceties with Joe Crowley.
Yeah.
That's where I think Bernie Sanders got in trouble in the debate. If you remember, I don't know if you remember this. I don't think you were with me yet. During the 2016 primary, Bernie Sanders had a debate versus Hillary Clinton in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And the anchor asked, well, Bernie, can you give one example where she has changed the position after getting a donation?
he didn't say. I thought he did.
I could
I
list,
feel like I remember
I
that.
could list 20 just in my
Of
sleep.
course. He pushed her completely
And
left.
Bernie's campaign actually was emailing out, because during the debates, it's rapid fire. So all
Yeah.
the campaigns email out what the candidate's saying. Bernie basically pivoted back to the general spiel. He didn't get into her changing on the bankruptcy bill. He didn't get up to her changing on Wall Street deregulation. The point is, he was asked after the debate, why didn't you go specific on what she was doing? Why didn't you go specific on how is she compromised? He said, because I want to run a positive campaign. That's what I'm saying. I think Bernie ran a great campaign, don't get me wrong. But I think Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, what she did is work harder than Joe Crowley. Joe Crowley barely went out campaigning.
Yeah,
He barely
at
had
all.
volunteers. But number two,
But that lets you know about the how complacent you become when you've been in the chair or when you've been in the position for 14 years and you think they just owe you a vote.
Right.
And I think she brought that up. She brought that up at some point, either last night or it was in her campaign video about you have to come and earn our vote.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to come in and talk to the people and see. And there's so many people that try to say that the incumbent was like a more progressive person than a lot of people in the Democratic Party. I don't know how that is.
he's more
even-
progressive.
Yeah, it doesn't even seem. Oh, I was gonna tell you with the super chats, we have to acknowledge her question.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Exhausted 11. Don't know your full name, but I'm exhausted 11 myself. I slept 4 hours. Hey, Ben.
Thank you.
Hey, you're trying to demonetize me already? Because if I say that bad word, YouTube's going to demonetize me.
Why?
Are you out of your mind?
I didn't know you couldn't
When you
curse.
curse, they demonetize you. But you know what? Fuck it. Hey, Ben fucking jealous. Voted for
You're
Ben.
quoting. That's a quote.
No, they demonetize you if you curse. AOC. First feeling of hope last night since the end of the 2016 primaries. Jordan, Ty, opinions on the best case scenario for the Supreme Court now. Scary. All right, I was going to get to Ben jealous. I am going to get to the Supreme Court. But I want to go back to something you said. Somebody said first feeling of hope last night since the end of the 2016
That's the
primaries.
same girl.
Yeah, I think this is important because I've said this a few times on morning afters where progressives were depressed.
Yeah.
Rome was not built in a day. This country did not become corrupt overnight.
Yeah.
It's been a slow build. So it was
That's
always going to take a while to start seeing real progressive victories.
moves. Yeah, you're right.
Because Bernie was just the beginning. But even Tim Canova, for example, losing to Debbie Wasserman Schultz, which I'm not convinced he lost by the amount they say he lost because of the voter shenanigans down there, that was a step in the right direction. Every loss that's not a blowout, every progressive candidate that actually challenges somebody that are outspending the progressives by 10 to 1 is a victory. When Paula Jean Swearingen down in West Virginia, before you came on board, Jen and I were down there.
We interviewed her at People Summit.
Yeah. When she gets 48,000 votes, when a year ago nobody knew who the hell this woman was, against Joe Manchin, who's one of the most well-funded candidates in the United States, one of the most corrupt, too. It's not an immediate victory, but it also is a success.
Yeah.
And it all builds up to something like
Yeah.
last night. All
Exactly.
campaigns are different. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's campaign, her district, different than Paula Jean Swearengin. One was a congressional race, one's a senatorial race. But the point is, all of these build on each other. I think you're going to start seeing more Ocasio-Cortez type victories because the establishment is arrogant.
They don't get it. They're so absent that they just don't get it.
Right.
I mean, it makes perfect sense because when you have the old guard, when you have people that's so used to doing one thing, like Nancy Pelosi this morning was like, that's one race.
So
that's
let me-
one race.
let me give you
trying to minimize.
Let me give you the exact
know.
quote, because I was going to get to my friend Nancy Pelosi, who, I'm not a woman, but I think it was outrageous.
Interesting.
I thought it was outrageous what she said. You have a 28-year-old Latino woman.
Yeah, she's not even sponsored. She didn't even give her congratulate her. Right?
Yeah, you have a 28-year-old Latino woman who less than a year ago was basically bartending.
Yeah.
Not to diminish bartenders, but she just beat the number 4 most powerful Democrat in this country.
Yeah.
It's a woman, so you would think Nancy Pelosi would kind of give a little more than that.
Uh-huh.
This is what Nancy Pelosi had to say. It's ascendant in that district, perhaps.
Yeah.
She
In that
said.
district.
But I don't accept any characterization of our party presented by the Republicans.
Yeah.
So let me reject that right now. Our party is a big tent. Our districts are very different, one from the other. What she means by she doesn't accept the characterization by Republicans, she was answering, I don't accept any characterization that socialism is spreading in the Democratic Party. That's what she was responding to. Well, I got news for you, Nancy. You could call it what you want. You can call it socialism, you can call it progressivism, you could call it going to Burger King. But the bottom line is this. The voters are moving away from the center. The voters are moving to the left. Frankly, the voters are moving in some cases further to the left of Bernie Sanders because Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is to the left of Bernie Sanders. So for her to make that statement is outrageously, I think, tone deaf.
Yeah, of course.
And I think it only is going to
Arrogant.
It's only going to bring on more animus because, every district is different and every race is about that district, of course. But you cannot say this man, Joe Crowley, was in Congress for 20 years.
Yeah.
He ran unopposed for 14 years. He was very well known in that district. So this is not just a district thing. This was a national message, a national message. What do you think of Ben Jealous winning in Maryland, former NAACP president?
yeah.
And the difference between Ben Jealous's race.
No, go ahead.
I wasn't asking you because he's black.
No,
I know
no.
that's what's going through your head.
Oh no, you don't understand. You don't know what's going in my head right now.
What's going
I
on
thought
in
you
your
would get it. I can't really say, but I thought you.
No. What I was,
It's okay.
What I was going to say, the difference between Ben Jealous's race
Yeah.
and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's race, Bernie went all in for Ben Jealous.
Yeah.
Bernie went down to campaign
Yeah.
for Ben Jealous, and he doesn't go campaigning for that many officials. Bernie did fundraising emails for Ben
Yeah.
Jealous. Bernie put his political machine out for Ben
for Ben
Jealous
Jealous, yeah.
because Ben Jealous is running for governor. Maryland, it's generally a blue state, but it actually has a Republican governor right now. But Ben Jealous was another one. He didn't hide it.
So it's not a swing state.
Maryland, no.
No.
But he didn't hide it. Medicare for all,
Yeah.
ending private prisons,
Yeah.
tax the rich, all
Yeah.
that stuff. Thoughts?
No, I think it's great to me, I think I feel exactly like what you're saying as far as just the wave that's happening right now. If you don't catch the wave, and a lot of times that is what happens. I'll give just a small analogy. If you think about people in the hip hop genre, right? If you think about someone that has a lasting career like Jay-Z, he knew how to remain himself, but still move with the time. You know what I'm saying? And you look at people like
But
Rakim.
he cheated on Beyonce.
Regardless, that's neither here nor there. And
I think it is.
well, hey, teach his own.
Just saying, he cheated on Beyonce. I'm not
So
okay
what?
with that. But go ahead, keep going. I interrupted.
Help us, Lord.
By the
But,
way, I'm schwitzing. Is it hot in here? Or is it,
It
just
is
me?
hot. It's the lights. Though.
Yeah.
But and then someone like Rakim, who's a great MC, didn't live past 95. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving him 95. Like he really didn't make a hot album past 91. But this is what I'm saying. Like if you're so stuck in what you're used to, then you won't see that wave and it'll pass you by. Just like it passed him by, and it'll continue to do that because people they're arrogant.
Right.
Nancy Pelosi's arrogant. She just won in California, but she's still arrogant. She will lose. You know what I'm saying? Feinstein will lose. And I think it's a great thing. I think that the idea of Rome being built like it wasn't built in a day. I think we have to make sure we maintain that because things like this take time, and a lot of times you can not. This is crazy. A lot of times you can be discouraged by the time that it will take, and the passion and the letdowns and the back and forth. But that's a part of it. Don't change it.
Somebody said your Patreon sign is tilted. They can't see it.
No, they can see it, but if you untilt it, it's gonna fall like you've been complaining.
Yeah, but
you
they
gotta
can't
get
see
more.
the full they can't see the full message because your big head is blocking it. How about that?
Wait, what is the full message?
You see?
Jordan?
Your head is blocking my name.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe you should write your name in a bigger.
Look at this man. You know what? I'm not going to address this troll here.
Why? So why are you addressing it then?
No, I'm not. I'm just going to say I feel bad for people like this troll.
Yeah, it's okay.
But moving on.
It says troll alert.
Oh, Patricia says, Jordan and Ty, good to see you guys. I think Patricia, let me see. Patricia was the person who just emailed me asking if I'm okay because she hadn't seen me on camera all day.
Oh.
So let me tell you, Patricia, let me tell you where I've been. And let me tell you where Ty has been. We're going to get back to the election. Ty and I, with Jen, was on the road for the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We were, I would say, acquiring information that's going to end up being a bombshell report about water testing in Flint and the state cheating. So when we got back yesterday, I'm not going to lie, I was a little tired from 2 weeks of knocking on 400 doors. And we had this primary. So we worked on some of the logistics stuff because Ty's coming on with right now, Jordan reports, and then status quo when we launch. So we had some things to iron out. Yeah. But let me tell you something. The energy that's going on right now from Ocasio's victory, from Vangelis's victory, actually makes me more excited to hit the road because the progressive energy is there. Yeah. And every story we cover, underneath it, is the progressive movement. Like Ty and I are talking right now about going on a, I don't know what we would call it, but kind of like a tour to cover these mass shootings and the aftermath. Yeah. Because we're both tired of these being normal. We're both tired of these mass shootings in Parkland and Santa Fe, and even the Charleston church shooting years ago, and the Nevada concert shooting last year. It's been normalized. Nobody talks about it anymore. Nobody shows the living victims, which are the families and the students that survived and all these things. So we're going to show that because we think it's important. But I'm excited because we're also going to cover some progressive candidates this summer. And right now, the progressive energy, by the way, this hasn't been covered at all. Not only did Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez win last night, not only did Vangelis win last night, today the DNC ruled, they usually don't do anything good for progressives, to scale back superdelegates. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
The DNC, by a large vote, actually ruled that they're going to be scaling back superdelegates significantly by the 2020 for the 2020 election. So, good things happening. So, Nancy is kooky. Rose certainly turned a spotlight on the race. Yeah, Ro Khanna originally endorsed Joe Crowley. Yeah. But then the progressive basically hate against him for endorsing Joe Crowley was so big that he was like, oh, sorry, I'm endorsing Ocasio too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that kind of like put more attention on the race, that Ro Khanna, who's considered progressive. Now, somebody also asked, what do we think about the Supreme Court? If you don't know, Anthony Kennedy, who was like the swing vote, decided to retire today, which is going to give...
it was exhausted 11.
Thank you guys for the people contributing here. This is our first super chat, so if you feel inclined, you can leave a couple bucks. But you know what I'm going to say?
Joy, you can leave a couple bucks if you feel inclined.
Yeah, if you feel inclined to super chat. I'm going to say this. The Democrats aren't going to do this because they're spineless. Yeah. And they just don't know how to play dirty. I would not...
We're playing dead in the hall.
I would literally block the Republicans until 2020 from replacing Anthony Kennedy. Just like the Republicans blocked the Democrats from replacing Merrick Garland.
Remember, they changed the filibuster laws. Like you can't now.
No. Just different for a Supreme Court judge, I think.
No. I don't think so because they were talking about it today. They were like,
Okay, so they can
they
basically get it
can-
through?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I would do. But secondly, listen, I'm not going to put lipstick on a pig. It's bad news that Kennedy is retiring
Yeah.
because at times he did vote with the liberals, and Trump is probably going to get the guy from Duck Dynasty to replace him or some lunatic. Maybe Mike Huckabee. Maybe
Never heard that
maybe,
term before.
Maybe Don King.
Lipstick on a pig.
Sarah Palin. That's from Sarah Palin,
Oh,
I think.
well, I think bacon is lipstick on a pig.
Whatever.
It's beautiful.
But as I've always said, with the Supreme Court, it's often unpredictable. John Roberts, for example, is a Chief Justice, hardcore Republican. He's voted with the Democrats. He voted with the Democrats on ruling Obamacare is constitutional. He just voted as the fifth vote with the Democratic judges for another ruling that blocked what the Republicans wanted. At times, the liberal judges have voted with the conservative judges. So you really never know. A lot of votes are party line votes, but some votes in the Supreme Court are not. But I think Trump is going to try and ram through the most radical judge he can, like a Neil Gorsuch. I think we all need to be saying a deep, deep prayer for Ruth Bader Ginsburg tonight and tomorrow.
You're not lying.
That she don't go, because that would move them to 6-3.
And that changes the dynamics of the country
Yes.
for like decades.
Yeah.
dog.
And I've been attacked today. I saw it on Twitter after the Kennedy news came out. People were like hitting me, hitting Jimmy Dore, hitting all the people that were basically covering Hillary Clinton critically, saying, "Oh, are you happy now, Jordan? Now Trump's going to get another Supreme Court nominee. Are you happy you elected Trump?" To that I say, don't blame me for the fact that Trump's going to get another Supreme Court pick.
Yeah.
Blame Hillary Clinton. She lost to Trump. It's not my problem that Hillary Clinton was a bad candidate. It's not my problem that Hillary Clinton was corrupt. It's not my candidate that not my problem. Hillary Clinton didn't go to Wisconsin.
But and like, who can predict this type of stuff?
Right.
Who can predict someone getting ready to retire? I mean, it's like the luck of the draw. It hasn't happened since 2005 or something like that, where a sitting president can elect two Supreme Court justices, like one sitting president.
But Russia, Michael Cooper says, it's Russia's fault.
Well,
They did this.
of course, we don't have to name the obvious.
So what I want to say to I guess, wrap up Ocasio, Benjelis, I think it's also important, and Ty disagrees because he's...
I'm sorry, I'll go in and out just to make sure it's still recorded.
Because Ty disagrees because he's technically part of the establishment, and he loves Morning Joe. He wakes up early on the West Coast to watch Morning Joe. He loves Joe Scarborough. He loves Mika.
I don't wake up. No, this is what I do. If I don't go to sleep before 3, I'll stay up a little extra to watch.
Okay. But watching Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez on the set of Morning Joe today was like watching an alien descend into,
Just how they looked at
a theater. They looked at her like...
The one guy was like this, like judging her, like...
Yeah. They looked at her like...
But I actually like that guy.
They looked at her like, I don't get this. I don't understand.
Yeah.
What? What do you mean you like?
I think you
What-
putting
what-
the two.
what-
I think you
no,
putting
no.
the 2 on the 10
No,
though,
no,
because
no.
it wasn't really. I watched the entire interview.
I watched it, and they did not know how to connect with this woman because they're not. The corporate media, all these anchors are so out of touch with what real people actually deal with, what real people are struggling with, what real people care about. Because real people do not give a damn about Russia all day.
Of course.
Only MSNBC's, frankly, older audience
Russia
cares.
his tweets.
But watching them, and also then I saw Wolf Blitzer and CNN. They put they put their headlines on the screen. Latino socialist stuns.
That's exactly what it said.
Latina
like-
socialist stuns. Because you want to know why? They don't want to put progressive. They don't want to put the term progressive. Vic stuns the establishment, so they put socialist. Because this is what they did with Bernie. They try to use these terms to try and basically
Distract people, right?
also scare the audience, because the term socialism to an older audience, which cable news is an older audience, scares them. Ooh, socialists are winning now? Socialists are taking over? So
But
instead,
that's what she calls herself, though.
right.
She calls herself a Democrat.
No, she declares she identifies first and foremost as a progressive.
Yeah.
And she is a progressive candidate who stunned and upset a Democratic establishment candidate. So it's these subtle things like Latina socialist, and then you saw Wolf Blitzer interviewed Bernie Sanders, and basically the first thing that he asked Bernie Sanders was, well, does this mean, oh, there we go again, I told you.
How about that? Don't worry about it.
Does this mean, yeah, we're working on improvements here. We're gonna work on better tape, better backdrop. This is the first time Ty has been in my apartment, so he's actually setting up a real studio for me rather than the crap I've had the last few months. But the bottom line is, I think corporate media does not know how to react to these people. Joy Reid, our friend Joy Reid, tweeted out, all of us journalists today have been taking a crash course on Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Well, why are you taking a crash course? If you're progressive journalists, shouldn't you know about one of the candidates who's taking on the establishment candidate?
And that's what happens. Like and that's the frustrating shit. It takes someone like this to upset a race for them to start like paying attention and giving people their props, you know.
Yeah.
But that's what everything, though. But it's still frustrating.
They want to do. They're starting a raffle and a bidding for the sign because this is the original Patreon sign.
I think we should keep it. I like it. I think it gives. I think it gives it authenticity. We can just make sure we get the things that make it stay up. But you should keep it.
Like we did in arts and crafts class before we went live. That's what I'm going for.
That's perfect.
Do I think she's going to win in November? Yes, she's going to win in November. It's a Democratic district. I also Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, 100% she's going to win. This
real studio.
Yeah, this was the real election. Yeah. She beating Crowley. She's going to win. Ben Jealous, I think, is going to be a tougher election. Larry Hogan is the governor in Maryland. Mm-hmm. He's a Republican, fairly popular, but I do think Ben Jealous has the Bernie Sanders network behind him. I do think Maryland is like many other states.
I like Ben Jealous. I met him a couple times. We interviewed him. I interviewed him with Nomiki. I like his disposition. He was like a really welcoming guy.
And I think Ben Jealous will do well against Larry Hogan because Maryland, like a lot of other states that generally have some wealthier neighborhoods, since the economic crash, it hasn't come back like other states. So I think Ben Jealous is going to have a shot to defeat him. Yeah. But most importantly, could you imagine? This is why what Bernie Sanders accomplished in 2016 was a big deal. I don't think you would have seen this without Bernie Sanders.
Oh, no,
someone
not
like
at all.
Ocasio-Cortez and all these progressive candidates running. I don't think you would have seen a Ben.
I love her passion, though.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about like, and I've seen her. I haven't really seen her. I mean, we interviewed her, but I didn't see her like speak, and I was just watching her. It makes you want to get out there and help her. You know what I'm saying? Like secure. Obviously, I think she's going to win the seat, but it's during the general makes you like want to help her.
And I also think the bottom line is this: even if Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and maybe 4 or 5 other hardcore progressives get into Congress, that's a damn good start. Yeah, that's a damn good start because she's already moved the party more to the left by winning. Yeah. So imagine what she could do in Congress. And I think I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised at all if there are more upsets because there is that progressive energy. What?
Oh boy, Jerry Ross is here.
Oh, Jerry's back in the house. Jerry's back in the house.
Hey, Jerry, I love you, dog.
I keep hiding the mic. Jordan's voice is annoying.
Because I was going like
Jerry Ross, you know what, Jerry?
Mike, actually, I mean, Jordan has on his own mic.
Yeah, you know what, Jerry? Ty and I were about to reveal some of our summer reporting plans. Yeah. And I think one of the places I want to go is to North Dakota because I'd like to interview and I'd like to prove that you actually work for the Dakota Access Pipeline Company. I want to prove that you're a big oil shill.
I think
much love for you.
We saw Jerry in Pittsburgh. Remember, we was at the restaurant. I was like, what if that's Jerry? Because remember that one guy was just kind of looking at us like there go Jerry right there.
So let me give you a little preview before we go, because we do have some things to work on.
We're gonna get it together.
We're gonna get it together. Ty's gonna get it together one of these days. So before we go, I want to tell you what we're thinking about doing this summer. Because what did you call this summer? What kind of summer is it going to be?
Surgical.
It's going to be a surgical summer. We're going out with a scalpel of truth.
Yes.
A scalpel of justice. While the rest of the media takes their vacations. Yeah.
I got one little vacation planned.
Yeah, one little vacation. We are going to go out there and hustle.
Yes.
So number one, like we said, we want to go on the... Let's call it the we're gonna do a tour. I don't have a name for it yet. That covers,
yeah,
that
the
covers
mass
the
shootings.
aftermath of
You
these
guys
mass
should
shootings.
also watch a documentary that I was a part of called
What?
I completely forgot the name of the documentary.
Oh,
NRA. Shit. I did it with Brave New
Wait a minute.
Films.
Did you just get on me before we went live about my terrible memory?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no, you have a terrible memory though. That doesn't. What does that mean? Like I'm forgetting one thing. What is it? Making a killing, guns, greed, and the NRA. Making a killing, guns, greed, and the NRA.
Mass Shooting Survivors Tour. I
It was
like
with
that. I like
Mass
that.
Shooting Survivors Tour. That
The living victims. I would call it the living victims
Yeah,
tour.
yeah.
But that's a good idea. We want to go cover.
I need to get a Bernie wig.
We want to go. No, I'm not stoned. Neither is Ty. I'm very tired though. I want to go. I don't want this to be normalized anymore. It's making me sick that after 8 to 10 children are shot in high schools or 17.
We're
children.
still having the same argument about it.
Right.
After children are killed, we're still having the same argument about it.
Yes. So we are also thinking
That's
about
frustrating.
going back to Standing Rock and
Yeah.
doing kind of after the Rock kind of thing. Because what has happened to the Standing Rock Sioux tribe after No Dapple? The real story and the real corruption and the real battle often comes when all the cameras leave
Yeah.
and there's nobody there.
That's true.
Paul, I'm gonna get to the rap battle.
That was a while ago.
You get it. Once we get to 500 Patreons, we're at 400 now. Once we get to 500 Patreon subscribers, Ty and I are gonna do a live.
Sound is very soft. I doubt it. I need to stop looking at people's comments, but I don't think you sound soft.
Ty and I are gonna do a live Jewish gangsta rap battle.
Wait,
Or
hold on,
fried
hold on,
chicken-
hold on, hold
fried
on,
chicken
hold on,
and
hold on.
gefilte fish.
Wait, Jewish and gangster?
Oh, here we go with this.
Why can't be Jewish and why the black person gotta be gangster though? Why can't be
Alright.
Jewish and black, or you know what I'm saying? Gefilte fish and fried chicken.
Jordan sounds worse now.
Ty is Jewish. I am Jewish.
Ty actually came to my grandma's funeral thing and he wore a yarmulke and it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
These pictures.
Oh yeah.
It was at a funeral thing.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, they can hear you. I
Okay.
can hear you.
So once we hit 500 Patreon subscribers, as promised, we are going to do an epic rap battle. I've already started writing lyrics to my songs. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of the bagel store, I take a look at my eyes and I eat a nosh.
All right, Coolio.
Okay, I'm working on it.
So mandatory, my elevation, my lyrics like orientation.
white,
so
I'm
you can be
Jewish.
more familiar with the brother you facing.
And by the
you
way-
must be patient. Nothing better than communication.
By the way, they call me Dr. Dreidel for a reason. That's what they called me in my youth, Dr. Dreidel. So when Dr. Dreidel comes out, 500 paid subscribers,
this is Jordan in his youth right here.
Yeah.
If y'all can see that.
500.
Can they see it?
We're at 400. We're at 400.
He's
Yeah, that's my Jew crew.
the one with the glasses on tour at the, where am I at?
That's gonna go viral. we're at 400 paid subscribers. Once we hit 500, there's gonna be an epic rap battle. We might just do it in rounds.
Yeah.
So we're thinking about going back to Standing Rock.
Kimberly, I'm up.
We're also thinking about going to Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
which is another terrible example of
Yeah.
bad, terrible things being normalized.
Yeah.
Those people are basically being left to die. And
They
he
are.
knows more about it than I because
Yeah.
he's been there with TYT. I
Yeah.
wasn't.
3 times.
We're also thinking about other pipelines we could cover, but we're also thinking about other types of stories we
Do
could
you
cover.
like Canada?
Do you like Canada? I like Canada.
Yeah.
Is there stuff going on in Canada we should know about? I'll put it in my email. Hit me up.
Carne Verde. Carne
by the
Verde.
way, guys-
You're absolutely right. Nothing is normal, but we got to make sure that we don't make that unnormal normal, if
Right.
that makes any sense. Like we can't sit, and we can see everyone doing that now. Like don't worry about it. With the president, everything he does now is that's just Trump. Like no one has alcohol. We can't normalize this shit. We cannot.
Right. And what I want to say
This
is
stuff. We
what-
can't cuss at all.
Fuck it. We already cussed. So fuck.
What?
But the point is, what I want to say.
That's probably why he used to get his butt whooped when he was a
We
kid.
can't normalize sign dropping. That's a good point. That's why I asked Ty. I said, the
Yeah,
sign keeps
I
dying.
know what we got to get. We just haven't had time to get
We're
it.
just
It's
gonna
that-
have to
yeah.
super glue that shit. So
No, it's the Velcro.
let me tell you something. as always, I said this at TYT and I say this now. I have ideas in my head, but then a viewer sends me a story, a random story in their neck of the woods that I have no idea about,
Yeah.
that I had no idea about, and I say to Ty, let's go there.
gotta do it.
So I just left my email address. It's email.jordan@protonmail. email.jordan@protonmail.com. A lot of what we're going to do is going to come from you. So if you got stories going on in your neck of the woods, I don't care if the corruption is as low as the PTA level.
Yeah.
I don't care how low it is. Like Bernie says, it starts from the ground up. We will cover anything that is unjust, corrupt, where people are screwing vulnerable people, and issues that the corporate media and frankly most independent media aren't going to cover.
Yeah.
So you send us story ideas. That's where I got East Chicago with. That's why I've kept going back to Flint, because people keep updating me what's going on there.
Yeah.
The more you send us, the more we could go out and expose what's going on. And like I said, we've been very busy because the last 2 or 3 weeks we were in Flint. Literally, I literally with Jen knocked on 400 doors. You
Yeah.
probably knocked when you came, I don't know, 100?
Some.
We did a lot of work that no one else is doing because we care. But we need your help to help us get out there. So super chat, super appreciated.
Appreciate
The
it.
the sponsor link.
Like literally now is definitely you guys are wishing well, water well,
Yeah.
a well of life.
And you know, the sponsor list, we've had I think over 160 people now contribute to jordanchariton.com/sponsor. And all that you're sending in is going so we could pay
Get the
for
equipment we need,
Yeah,
you know.
equipment. We just bought Ty a lot of equipment. We bought him a computer, flights to go places, food on the road, hotels, Airbnb.
We bought status quo, bunch of equipment.
We bought Status Quo, a bunch of equipment. And shall I say, would you ever work with TYT again?
Let's let that go. No, don't even.
The Jamaican 27. Let me tell you something, Jamaican 27. I never say never, but I'm focused on much bigger. Because I think Ty and what me and
Classic.
Ty are talking
Classic.
about,
Classic.
yeah. Never say never. But what I'm talking about, what Ty and I are talking about, I don't think it's ever been done, actually. I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't say that arrogantly. Where
Well,
we're,
I think it was done with. I mean, the reason that everyone is attracted to you, and the reason why that I'm here is because I think you did that with the Young Turks. You were the only one, and you can tell. Like once you left, it just stopped.
yeah.
But I'm just saying, like this is what the people want.
Yeah, but we envision something much bigger than just Ty and I. And
Exactly.
Ty and I have talked about that. Obviously, we can't be on the road 24/7 or we'll die. And Ty's a little bit older than I, so he can't be on the road 24/7
I don't
either.
know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
Ty's
32.
Ty's a little older than me. So we can't be on the road.
You're 30, right?
I'm 31. We can't be
I'm
on the
32,
road.
so I guess
We
a
can't
little
be on the road 24/7. But more importantly, we need more voices. We
Yeah.
need more progressive
And
journalists.
I mean, just a great example of like Alexandria. We people need to speak for their communities. We want to cover the news and things like that, but you speak to your community better than anyone can. You know what I'm saying? And those are like the kind of people I think you want online. Journalists like that's journalists that want to cover but know those communities, because our politics can be completely, you got a person that's a Democrat in Alabama or something that could be like just a completely different type of Democrat.
Yeah.
That we're like, wow, that's deep, but then that's the politics of that, and a person from there could speak to that
Right.
more clear.
So before we wrap, let me read a couple comments here. This is our first super chat, so I'll get it right.
So all the super chats I think are the ones that's
Why isn't Jordan reading the super chats? I am reading the super chats. Unfortunately, there hasn't been that many.
Well, I commented on nothing normal. Any
yeah,
any more
nothing
fellas.
normal anymore, fellas. The more people that
And then I think the rest is at the top, right? Like
Yeah.
The super chats are the one like rap battle.
rap battle that's going to happen, 500. Jerry Ross put up some money. I say
Jerry, hey, I think Jerry probably donates under another name because
he might be.
He couldn't take us knowing that he loved us.
Jerry, did you remind your sheep on how to get notified? Very good reminder, Jerry. Click all notifications, click the bell, and then click all notifications. Empress Pyra, I'm from Canada. We might go up and do a story in Canada.
They're saying it's a lot of someone.
Do a deep dive of
Canada
the
because
financial
it sounds-
situation that's strangling Puerto Rico. That's part of what we want to do
yeah.
while we're down there. We can't normalize sign dropping 100%. We're going to get that fixed tomorrow. Standing Rock, NM. I don't know what NM is. Maybe you mean North Dakota?
Yeah, North Dakota. That's NM, yeah.
No,
North
ND.
Dakota, yeah.
But yeah, I've been talking to some folks at Standing Rock. I do want to go back there, so that's definitely going to happen. Jordan, there are many issues that are shared with Canada. The border stupidity is a hardship for Canadians who spend time in the U.S. on holiday travel. Hey, Empress Pyra, send me an email with more information. That's an interesting story that we might want to do.
Trains spilling?
Email Jordan at protonmail.com.
Why no stories about trains spilling 230,000
That's just
gallons
Jerry.
of oil?
That's just Jerry. Jerry's whole point is pipelines are
What if
good
that's true?
because trains spill too. And I've said, yeah, they're both a problem.
Oh.
But there's more pipeline spills than train spills.
I see.
Sorry,
I
Jerry.
see. I see.
All right, let's keep it. Why
You're
isn't
trying to say
Jordan
no
reading
matter
this?
what, oil's
Why
gonna be
isn't
more.
Jordan reading the super chat? WTF? I am reading that super chat, baby. ICE is quietly picking up people on back streets in very sneaky ways in Mesa, Arizona. Candy, send me,
Please
send me
some
the
on
information.
that. We did that documentary with Brave New Films also with a lady that was picked up
Yeah.
by ICE, and she was held for 6 months. They held her bail at $50,000. And what's crazy with ICE, unlike the U.S., well, unlike like a citizen going to jail for something, if your bail is $50,000, you can't get a bond for that. So you can't go to a bail bondsman and have him place 10% to get you out. If the bail is 50, you got to come up with that 50. You wait until they start to bring it down, and that's what they ended up doing, was bringing it down to 5,000. And they raised it online, but she was in jail away from her family for 6 months. You know, trying to say this lady that was 65 years old was in a gang
Unbelievable.
in Los Angeles. Yeah.
Speaking of, we might have to go back to St. Louis. You got that on my mind when you did the bail and stuff.
Yeah.
Because the stories we heard in St. Louis.
You guys should see that Brave New Films. I actually shot and produced. It's called Ty Story, but it's about the bail system, money bail system in America. We
by the way,
feature Watts, Los Angeles. We did too. We feature Los Angeles and Ty Story. She's from Oakland.
And by the way, Ty pretty soon is going to be starting to do work on the first mini doc for Status Quo.
Yeah.
We're going to be working on a mini doc in Flint from our reporting there
Yeah.
the last few weeks, so stay tuned. Were you unable to get into the party because TYT was there? No, I was unable to get into the party because my phone wouldn't work. I actually...
Yeah.
I
No,
couldn't-
we
yeah,
actually
yeah,
got
no.
the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we could have got into the party. The problem was I couldn't go live because my phone wasn't
Yeah.
working. No problem getting into the party. No, nothing bad going on there. Endo, I'm pledging 50 for the sign, Jordan. Can I hear 100? All right.
The sign is going to remain the same, but we can use the 50 though.
Yeah, Trump knows everything for sale, even the sentimental stuff. Trump ain't getting my sign though. Put the Patreon URL on a headband, LOL.
That's tight.
It's not a bad idea.
That would be fun.
Not a bad idea.
Jerry Ross.
Ooh, Jerry Ross, $2,
No,
baby.
it was Paul. He said Jerry
Oh.
Ross told me to invest too.
I like it.
Man, you all right, bro.
Thank you, Jerry, for telling Paul.
Jerry actually probably appreciates that. Jerry loves us.
Paul, thank you very much for the contribution. Address again. I'm putting it in the super chat right now for you. Email Jordan at protonmail.com. There you go. So, folks, before we go, let me tell you, Ty and I will be live.
He'll
again.
say before we go like 3 more times.
Before we go, Ty and I are going to be live tomorrow, probably around 4 or 5 o'clock. Eastern time. YouTube doesn't do a great job of notifying you. And then
By the time we go live, that won't be coming down anymore. We'll have that taken care of.
and by the way,
And I'm glad the sound is working, everybody. So I'm not sure what maybe it was your phone. It was
probably.
that charger.
but we got other things we've been working on logistically here today because we are going to be launching officially Status Quo much sooner than later. So Ty is part of that. I'm glad YouTube finally monetized this page. Thank you so much to all of you that, on top of being monthly Patreon subscribers, are also then leaving funds in the super chat. You've also been leaving funds on jordanchariton.com/sponsor. There's a few people on jordanchariton.com/sponsor that have left $500, $1,000. I'm going to name all of you on a special live stream probably next week. To thank you all for the contributions. You literally are helping us get on the road and helping us go back and stay on the road, which is important. And you're doing it so we don't have to ever kowtow and bend down to corporate power.
Ever?
Yeah. So we're gonna go back to Standing Rock. We're gonna go back to Puerto Rico. We're going to go on this.
Look at this tattoo right there. I don't think anybody's ever seen this tattoo. It's Martin
MLK.
Luther King, Malcolm X, man hanging from a tree. It says, "Never take for granted the sacrifices made for you" at the top, and it
Yeah,
goes down to the.
but if we don't go soon, we're not going anywhere because I
Yeah.
might pass out from the heat in this apartment.
Oh,
Next
yeah.
time, we're definitely putting
We
the
should've left
AC
the
on.
window open.
Yeah. So thank you for watching. As always, it's at Jordan Sheridan on Twitter. What are you on Twitter?
Tommy. I think it's Tommy Tommie _ Tahifi
I
Tyefe.
literally got to get this guy's Twitter handle for him.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. You can thank me tomorrow. All right, I'm putting Tommy Tahifi in the chat here. Follow him on Twitter if you do oblige. We're also going to be trying to mix it up. We're going to go on YouTube sometimes, on
yeah.
Facebook sometimes.
Yeah.
Ty's going back to
But
LA.
I think once we get the maybe that sling,
Yeah.
we probably could do both
Yeah.
simultaneously.
But we're not taking any rest this summer. We're going to hit it, and we're going to hit the road hard. We're going to cover stories that we think are important. It's not always going to go super viral, but it's always going to be super important.
Yeah.
And we are more interested in focusing on real stories of real people in real communities,
Yeah.
because this ain't a cheesy slogan. This is what I believe. We got to give the microphone back to the people.
Yeah.
We got to give the microphone back to the people. Too often, our corporate and frankly the rest of the media,
It just gave me chills, by the way.
corporate and independent, they're speaking for the people and about the people, but they're not speaking to the people. And that's what I want Status Quo to be.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so happy Ty is now on board.
Yeah.
Don't say
Got
about
you.
that. So thank you very much for watching, and we will be back at it tomorrow. Get at me, dog. Get at me. All right.
If we can cover the whole screen with it.
There we go.
Did you just cut it off?
You gotta turn the phone off.
Oh.
What a cameraman.
Well, it looked like something just happened all of a sudden. Oh shit.
Oh God, I'm gonna die of heat.
Hold on.